We are on the eve of yet another Independence Day, another independence movement, you might want to say, in the All Wrestling Matters community, as we are getting you ready for Summer Bash 3. And boy, where does the time fly? It feels like yesterday. I remember hearing about Summer Bash, and we were talking about this thing. It's turned into a life of its own, and we're going to get you ready for it, I think, poetically, with the man that has been front and center of the All Wrestling Matters community, and a man that has been front and center at Summer Bash. We think about last year, Summer of Jovi, him finally getting that match he had been waiting for, the rematch over a decade in the making with, of course, the legendary Remy Ravage. And you might be wondering, well, how is our guest going to top what he did last year? I'm going to talk about it. He's pulling double duty, and it was just announced that he's going to have a match with somebody that I never thought we'd see that one coming, about him being at Summer Bash. And they're going to definitely be bashing some heads in here. Let's just put it kindly. And we're going to certainly go back and talk about the man that we mentioned last time our guest was here, and certainly a man that we have a 15-year plus relationship that could very well be finally coming to a head here at Summer Bash 3. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's going on in RCW, kind of related to this, and we'll get into what just happened earlier today in the IMF, because it looks like a Blaze. No, not that Blaze, but the other Blaze that's an ace is, well, let's just say, blazing his way back to the Palo Community Center. And we're going to talk about what on earth did Anthony Steele say last Sunday, and what about what's going on in the foundation, the House of Wolves? I can't keep up with all of it, but I know, since we are on the eve of yet another historic show here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform, that our guest, and most certainly everybody that's playing a role in Summer Bash, most certainly helps build Sportswire Radio to the tune of over 1,500 plus subscribers. It is time to give him that introduction. And in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman, although it's not quite his father, although Def Leppard and Bon Jovi are kind of almost attached at the hip, you might want to say close. It's close. I think our guest would like Slippery When Wet over Hysteria, but we won't get into too much of that. But rather, it is time to give him that introduction, because the chat is waiting for it. He is waiting for it. And let's get this show on the road in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. A man that was the first backyard wrestler to come onto Sportswire Radio. A man that has been a founding father of the All Wrestling Matters movement. A man that is several times over in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. A man that last year was a part of the Summer of Jovi. A man that obviously still counts John Bon Jovi as his lost father. He is still our rock star, your rock star, America's resident rock star. His name is simply put, the resident rock star Jovi's got it going on. My friend, how are we doing?
The best part about that intro, Tom, is the fact we got in sync with it this time. Last time we were out of sync.
Yeah, some people.
I'm working on it.
Well, you know, it's funny. Before we get into you, some people really get into the war chants. Torrance Banks was when we got to do the war chants. D'Angelo the Flames seemed to really like it when he was here. And some others, I had LA Guns frontman Phil Lewis, which I was just featured in blabbermouth.net, basically the heavy metal version of Rolling Stone. And he didn't seem to, I want to say he didn't like the intro, but I did it a lot shorter if you watch the interview. And I know a lot of people are talking about it right now in the heavy metal world, but I didn't do it like I usually do it here because he was kind of like, almost like get on with it already. It was like, you could tell he was the first guy that I did the intro for, like the long one that was kind of like, all right, I want to like get, because he was like on a timer and it was like, he liked the interview. I mean, people liked it, but it was funny. I couldn't get into the full trance, I couldn't get I couldn't do it because he was like almost like wanting to get on with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, it ruins the mood, man.
I got 3 minutes in. I mean, Rhino famous who's like, boy, I want to run through a wall with it. And great white guitarist Mark Kendall was like, wow, that was far out.
I just soak it in, man. Like that's literally what it is. I just soak in all the war chants, long intro. I soak it in.
Some people listen. I mean, some people do that. You thankfully do that, but I'm not complaining because it was a great honor to have LA Guns on here. But Sean Jovi, there is a lot to talk about with you because I know we had you on here not too long ago. It had been a minute, and we were talking about you and Darkfire. We're going to come back to that, but now you're in a match here once again coming up at Larger Than Life for RCW, which is obviously going to take place here coming up this weekend during Summerbash with a match I had no idea you had really any dealings with, and you're going to tell us how it all happened here. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and certainly everybody else here at Summerbash most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio, why are you and one Kyle Shelby are wrestling, and what's up with that?
There's a lot behind it, Tom. There's a lot.
Okay.
Just because his last name is slightly different than mine. That's about 75% of it. But let's go to the other 25%. He says he's from the GBYWN era. So what? So am I. We're having an alumni dream match, as some may call it. Now, I think it's the dream match nobody knew they wanted or wanted to see at all, but it's happening. And I make it happen because, one, I hate the last name Shelby with a burning passion. No, I really do. Like the Sean Selby behind the Jovi hates that.
I was like confused because I know Sean Jovi. I don't know a Sean Jovi Selby. I mean, I've known you longer than any backyard wrestler. That's a statistic fact. And I've only known you as Sean Jovi. I've only thought, Bon Jovi was your lost father. I didn't know that there was this Sean Jovi Selby. That's why I'm confused here and saying, what's up with that? Because I didn't know you as Sean Jovi Shelby or Selby. I knew you as Sean Jovi.
You see, when you fuse your brain with the other part of your brain, it kind of doesn't always mush together correctly. I felt like it's like I'm fusing myself as the human being Sean Selby that is behind the Jovi character and Sean Jovi himself, like smushing into a larger than life being. And that's what he woke out of me. Because, like, honestly, when I grew up in school, Tom, young Sean Jovi, young Selby, whatever you want to call me. Everyone would make fun of me because my last name was so close to Shelby. And, Shelby's more of a female's name.
Well, Shelby,
right?
Well, wasn't that Shelbyville what was the show that had Shelbyville in?
Oh, God, let's not go there.
Yeah.
It makes me hate it more now.
Yeah, well, let's not go there with that. But
no, the last name, it just for some reason in school kind of just carried on and stuck with the saltiness within me, And, like, it's nothing against the guy. I'm sure he's a good kid, but, like, his last
I mean, he's an interesting guy. He's been on here a few times. I think he's a part of ROEW still. I haven't seen him in there recently, but yeah, he was sort of around years ago. He's made a comeback. I mean, to his credit, he's gotten himself into great shape the last several months. He's
Yeah,
certainly put the work in, I think, to be here at this moment, but he's definitely kind of a polar opposite of you in terms of just everything, his approach and how he comes across in the ring. I mean, you two are polar opposites, but what you're telling me is by the last name, sort of, there's some similarities there.
it's probably the only similarity, Tom.
That's I'm
It
trying to
literally
solve the
is
match
no
here. I'm trying to
similarity.
solve
I
it
want
because
to eliminate that.
now,
This.
yeah, because I didn't even know you guys knew each other. I mean, let me ask you a question. I know there
Honestly,
was
we didn't. That's the funny
that
part.
was about to say because he mentioned the GBYW, and I saw
He
obviously
did,
myself was tagged in there, and I
but
saw
I
somebody who I
never
think was
heard of him,
related to
man.
Rad, and you were tagged in there, and I was kind of like, I know he knows about the GBYW. He's talked about that on here, but I didn't really know he was a part of it.
To my
Remind me.
knowledge, I have no idea. There were some Michigan feds in GBYWN. I didn't really get to know anybody in them.
Okay.
There was this guy, Absolute Jake, and I think he was from the UP though. But yeah, I've never heard of Kyle Shelby. I never even knew there was backyard in Detroit. So I can't
Yeah.
tell you, Tom. I can't tell you where he came
So
from.
what do you? So I mean,
It.
so what's the end game here coming up at Summerbash for RCW's Large Land? If you're wrestling him, and there's no real history other than a name, he says that it's a GBYWN battle. You talked a little bit about it just briefly. So what's the end game between you two?
See, here's the thing, and I'm just gonna. And this is just adding on to before.
Mm-hmm.
He is the bit. The reason why I wanted this match, so he can stop being the biggest Jovi mark on the planet. Here's the reason why I say that, Tom. Have you noticed the tights that he wears?
Yes.
Who wore those first?
I think I'm talking to them.
Yeah, you are, Tom. You're definitely talking to him right now. So, who geeked out and was like, "Oh my God, Sean Jovi this, Sean Jovi that. I want a dream match with Sean Jovi." Those were the first words I heard from him when I met him on the internet, man.
It's funny though because from my recollection of him, but it's funny though because my recollection of him, at least here on Sportswire, was he had a back and forth with a name that was here Sunday, and that was predictable, and Anthony Steele, and there was certainly some things said there. I don't know where that is right now. It's been a minute since maybe those two have crossed paths, but that's where I naturally would have thought, okay, that's would have made sense. But you and him, now from what you're telling me, it actually seems like it makes more sense. He didn't give you credit, or maybe is a big fan of yours when it comes to your ring gear. Obviously, there's the name. There's the GBYWN. And maybe at this point in your career, there's kind of where you're at a crossroads, to quote a Bon Jovi Greatest Hits album. And he's kind of at a crossroads in where he is right now, because if you think about him, he came back to the ring late last year with his own company. Then he was in ROEW for a while, wanted to be, I think, on the same side as Natural Selection. That didn't happen. And then we've been kind of wondering, where do we go from here with him? So maybe in that sense, both of you guys are at a crossroads right now, and maybe this match will determine where one of you guys will hopefully go more this right means left, to quote one of the other Bon Jovi albums that you probably own.
No, I totally agree, Tom. And I think that's part of the purpose of this dream match is I'm not the only one who needs to find himself. He does too, and I'm aware of that. He's having an identity crisis. He thinks he's me. But that's
But you guys don't necessarily look alike. I mean,
no, we don't. Yeah,
he is the Duke of Detroit. I mean, you're the resident rock star. He's the Duke of Detroit. I mean, and you even said that
more like the Deuce of Detroit.
He's the Duke. I mean, listen. Famously, there was a baseball player Duke Snyder, who was the Duke of Flatbush here in Brooklyn, but he's the Duke of Detroit. I guess Kyle Shelby is swinging for the fences here, and he wants to walk in here to Summerbash. Now, Summerbash is obviously something that means near and dear to your heart. Obviously, we think about the GBYWN. We think about all those super shows. We think about the history that you've been front and center for these past 3 years. You're the man that was the first backyard wrestler to come on here to Sportswire Radio. And it's led us, quite frankly, to being in Blabbermouth, to have the opportunity to be featured with Phil Lewis, the front man of LA Guns. I mean, I should have asked him about Bon Jovi. Maybe he would have helped me finding your father, but he had his own talk about Wisconsin on yesterday's show, which we'll leave that at that. But I mean, obviously, right now, this is a guy that wants to make a name or further solidify where he's going after this off your name. So there's a lot on the line coming up.
You know me, Tom. I like putting myself in these situations for some reason, but this one I'm a little bit more confident on than normal.
But this is different because, okay, we talked about Darkfire. We know we'll come back to him.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see some other people in a little while, but we got that. I got you in Darkfire. I know the history. I know you too well, but Kyle Shelby, it doesn't rank, I guess, in your career. Where do you think it ranks right now then?
You see, that's kind of where I wonder too, Tom. I don't even know myself what I was thinking by doing this match. I just thought it was a great idea, and I booked it.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously he's coming in
just because of the name versus name. I thought.
Well, I think that's clever. Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely clever. But we think back last year to Summerbash, and you and Remy Ravage was a match that was generational. It was a match that you had so much history between you two. You two were part of the GBYW, and we know the long history and explaining about how you both were in the GBYWN, your history in other places, what this match meant. Remy Ravage had just around that time had decided to return to the ring. I think Remy had just basically been in the ring for a little short period in a company that we mentioned from a place that you can go figure it out and fill in the blanks. But there was so much history there. But with Kyle Shelby,
it's a weird one.
I don't know. Maybe that's what makes it more intriguing because
that's kind of where I was leaning, Tom. It's
it's
not so much the dream match per se. It's more of the intriguing factor of why is this a dream match? Let's find out. I think I know deep down that this could be a guy who I want to wrestle on bucket list, and it's just because his last name sucks.
Well, he likes his last name.
The reason why he's on the bucket list, but it's on the bucket list to do it.
Well, I'm going to put the poster up here for me. I know there's some people in the chat. We'll get to them. But I guess then if I said to you then, when it comes to a match like this, how do you prepare for somebody that, I mean, you don't really know well? With Remy, you've got so much personal history with, right? Darkfire, listen, I don't even have to explain it. You know the man probably better than most people would know their family or their own siblings. But with Kyle Shelby, yes, I know he's had a little bit of a run in ROEW. He's got his own company. He's had some work that he's done last year, a little bit in. But how do you prepare for somebody that you probably know more about from the things that they've said here or on social media than from what they've done in the ring the last several years? How do you prepare for someone like this?
He's a man of mystery in that area, Tom. He is. He is. So that's the thing. It's hard to prepare for somebody you don't know much about in the ring. For me, he can study me all day.
Absolutely.
I have hours and hours and hours and thousands of videos.
Oh, he studied your interviews. You've been here, 50, 60 times the last 3 years? I mean, you've had between other places you've been, IMF, and I would say anything else you've done in the GBYW? And what is there, 200 matches to look up on your career, 250, something like that?
There's a lot of things you can find on my channel, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, so you're talking about
database. It's like the whole Jovi-verse right there.
Right, but you're talking about even, let's go with the last 3 years, right? If you look at the last 3 years of your run here, since you've been here on Sportswire, I mean, what are we talking about? 60 matches, 70 matches? I mean, you've had that. That's a lot of
good number, yeah.
I mean, so he can just go and sit back and pull up some of your stuff and go watch it and figure out how to wrestle you and beat you. But with him, you know, he's wrestled his brother Drew. He's had some stuff here and there, but not much else. I mean, listen, I've been talking about this all the time here. He's got the advantage over you for your sake, unfortunately, maybe, because there really isn't much you can prepare from. I keep using the analogy, Sean, in that it's almost like in baseball. If you're a baseball player and sometimes the pitcher struggles with the hitter the first time around the lineup because they don't know how to pitch to the hitter. They don't know if they should throw him inside. They don't know if they should make him chase a curveball. Does he want to chase a changeup? Should I throw it high? They can't figure him out. So the hitter has the advantage. And right now, Shelby is kind of that guy that has the advantage at the moment because he can figure you out. He can sit there between tonight and this weekend and watch 7, 8, 9, 10 of your matches without even trying. Whereas you're going to watch him and Drew. He's got the advantage right now.
Yeah, there's not much to him, man. Not much history. I don't even think I have a backlog of what he did back in the day. If he even did anything back in the day that's relevant.
I mean, a couple guys know him, that have been on here.
GBYWN title, Tom. I held a GBYWN title that Will Ospreay was unable to win when he was Ace Payne.
No, GBYWN guys, Sick Rick obviously has been here. Rad was here a couple weeks ago. I mean, you're known in the community. I'm not saying that he didn't have anything in the GBYWN, but I mean, I don't really know where he ranked and where he is on any of the GBYWN pages.
He could have been like me.
Yeah, I don't know.
He could have been like me. He probably was a bigger reject than I was. I don't know. I don't know. Never met the guy and never talked to the guy.
Well, I mean, there's been people here that have had their opinions about him, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to get in the middle of that. I happen to like the guy. I do think that he wants to be out there, and I think that he's put a lot of work in to have this match. And it's Selby versus Shelby, this is the first time that I am hearing Selby here related to Sean Jovi, because I only know him as Sean Jovi, but I do know certainly Kyle Shelby well. And, I have to ask you, he's been a champion now. The last time he had lost his championship or didn't have a championship, Barack Obama was president. That goes back a long time ago now. That's a really long time ago. Some people may not even remember.
Title at that time too.
Yeah, I mean, so he has been a champion here now for a decade. We're talking about a decade now. He's obviously the longest tenured champion anywhere right now. I mean, certainly Bruno Sammartino and has nothing on Kyle Shelby. And I mean, what do you make of that? Him and the UCA championship, a championship he has held on to for the better part of a decade.
I don't get it, man. Who's he? Has he defended that title since?
He has defended it. He defended it last year. Yes, he did defend it, and he has held the championship. And he has been very adamant here in the past about his championship and just how long he's held it and just the amount of effort he's put into that championship. So he's a champion. Listen, at the end of the day,
the effort of a title he doesn't defend in a modern day era where people could actually want that title. Now, do I want his title? Not necessarily. It has no value to me. I have no idea whatever his Fed is. I don't know.
UCA, yes, it's Universal Champions of Action. That's his company. And they ran a little bit last year. They had run, I think, for a bit. And then I think he transitioned into ROEW. And we last saw him at ROEW basically getting mauled by a man that I am sure you're going to be seeing this weekend. And Jason Storm, the ROEW champion, who's going to be wrestling Soldier GP, by the way, for the All Wrestling Matters Championship. So that's the last that I've seen him out there, unless I'm missing something. But that's kind of where his company is at the moment.
I'm really hoping he doesn't back out because I'm actually looking forward to.
Well, why do you think he'd back out? You just put the poster up today. You
Yeah,
think
I
he'd back
mean,
out?
you never know because he could be scared, man. This is a lot of pressure for the guy. Think about it. You got a name that wasn't known back then versus a household name now. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best thing in the
Yeah.
world. I'm not up there with the Omen Blacks and the Soldier GPs and the James Taylors and all those other people. But no, I really think.
No, I think you are up there name-wise with them. No, I think you are up there name-wise. Now, in terms of success, look, I'm not in the business of determining who's had more success. That's a subjective stat. I mean, he's champion for a decade, right? But I think in terms of being on here, I think that you mean just as much as those names. I don't know who's had more success or done. Everybody does something to determine what people would say their success is. But I mean, there's no question compared to him, you are more known. I think that that would be a
Yeah,
point that most people would certainly agree with is that Sean Jovi compared to Kyle Shelby is a far more well-known name. And that's exactly why Kyle Shelby wants this larger than life matchup and a dream match here and to be able to defeat you and springboard this to maybe wherever else he wants to go. And he's been adamant about wanting to travel places. He came on here famously months ago and said he wanted to travel. He was all about going west. And then he's talked about going north. And he's talked about all these places. And well, now he's starting that journey. He's starting that journey that guys like Omen Black, Soldier GP have done, D'Angelo LaFlame have done, Mickey Vargas is now doing. I mean, Gabe Sayers, who was Anthony Steele announced, Ace Christian. I mean, it's a long list of people. Aaron Blaze, Jack Delta. There's a long, long list of people that have traveled, yourself
yeah,
included. And he's starting his journey to be a traveler here in the All Wrestling Matters circuit and the underground backyard wrestling community. And he's starting that here coming up against you this weekend.
yeah. Like I said, he's got a lot to prove if he thinks he's better than me. So, well, it's a matter of who's going to win. I don't know. Soon to find out. But I have a feeling Kyle's going to eat whatever words he throws at me because there's no chance in hell I'm going to lose to someone with a title he's afraid to defend.
Well, you got to win here because there's some people that have, Owen was here Sunday later on and came in. And obviously your track record since Summerbash has been, well, what it is. I mean, singles-wise. I know you've recently had some tag team wins with Mephisto, and you've certainly been the rock stars of the galaxy. But, I mean, you eventually got to win at some point because I said that to you about you wrestling Darkfire. So, I mean, you got to go out there and you got to just as much on the line, I think, as he does coming up.
Yeah. And you know what, Tom?
What?
It's simple. You're right. I have a losing record since Summerbash last year. But I promise.
Some people want me to take your shirt off. I mean, they want me to put on somebody else.
Tom, I don't want you to take your shirt off because that, my friend.
No, I'm not taking your shirt off.
Your number one guy.
No, I am not taking your shirt off. I will always wear your shirt. And you are our favorite here on the platform. But, I mean, let me ask you one more question. I'm going to get to the chat. I know people want to talk to you. I do want to put something up on the screen. But you got Darkfire. We know the long documented history there. We know even recently the history there. It's now preceded us here in IMF and RCW. But are you looking past Mr. Shelby or even Darkfire conversely? Because you've got a lot on the line. So you've got to focus to be able to want to win both these matches. So how are you going to not look past either one of these guys coming up?
Honestly, it's hard. With the road I've been on, not the best. But you know me, Tom. I always keep the faith.
You know what? And by the way, that was a great album. Actually, I will say that. I keep saying that some people.
And I'm not just saying that in terms of a reference to my father.
Oh, okay. Because by the way, last week, I had a guy, Kevin from Ring Crew. We were talking because he does, he actually does stuff for bands, and it actually we had a discussion, and I hope you won't be too disappointed. I said I preferred Hysteria over Slippery When Wet, so sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, but you continue, Mr. Jovi.
Yeah, it's if I can't win both matches, then maybe I don't belong here, because it's been a year of pretty much straight losses in singles competition.
Yeah,
and that hurts. But
it does hurt. It hurts me to keep asking you this question. By the way, you think I want to ask you every time you come on?
I know it sucks, and it's getting old. It's getting really, really.
No, so I don't want to.
So, Tom,
yes, sir.
We can play a funeral for my career if I go 0-2 this weekend.
Well, they're actually doing a funeral for a career coming up here this weekend. I know people are not going to get the reference until it hits them, but apparently Ozzy and Black Sabbath are actually going to have a funeral for their career. It's their last official live performance in the other side of the world in the UK, in Birmingham. And they're going to have their final show. Ozzy's saying, this is it. I can't do it anymore. And I'm going to go up there one more time, perform a bunch of songs with the original Black Sabbath lineup, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, Tony Iommi, and they're going to perform one more time. And this is kind of the funeral for their career. And I would hope, Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, because you are just as beloved as Black Sabbath and certainly Ozzy, that this coming weekend here isn't also a funeral for your career. And especially here at such a big show like Summerbash, I would hope that we're not going to have a funeral for your career at the hands of certainly Darkfire, your former best friend, and one Kyle Shelby. So I'm hoping that we don't have a funeral for your career like we will for Sabbath and Ozzy coming up this Saturday.
Definitely not. But I mean, hey, if I go 0-2, I mean, everyone probably has the right to say it.
Well,
even I might have the right to say it.
Well,
I'm not going to say it because there ain't going to be a funeral because no one's going to be attending. And the reason why no one's attending a funeral that doesn't exist is because I don't die. Just like RCW never died. It just stayed down in the ashes and rose up like a goddamn phoenix. That's what I do, Tom. Even if I got exiled from the yard and the underground scene again, I guarantee you I would be back in a heartbeat. Quicker than you can say anything, because I live for this shit and you know that.
Yeah, yes. Definitely.
And even a loss after loss after loss after loss can't keep me down because I still love this business.
And it's your life, Sean Jovi, to quote a Bon Jovi song. It's his life, and he's definitely not going away. I promise you that, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna definitely crush it out there this weekend. I know there's a lot of people. I have some breaking news from management in the IMF. I'm going to get to that, but I got to get to the chat one by one here, and I want to give Summerbash something, but let me get to everybody here. We'll say hello to everybody. We'll see who else pops on here, but Sean Jovi said hello to himself, which is possible. Apparently you can do that. And Ox McCoy is in the house, who I know is going to be a big part of Summerbash, and he's going to definitely be spilling some blood out there, some blood and guts, and you won't be in the ring with him, at least. Again.
Yeah, not this time. Not this time. Not this time I won't be.
That's good. Good news. Zilla's in the house. Zilla, how you doing, Zilla? Good to see Zilla. There he is, Mr. Darkfire himself. Doesn't look like that right now, though. But
that's a lot uglier.
I'm going to say no comment on that because
under the bridge.
I've got to say no comment, but I'm going to say hello to the people here in the chat.
Deep down, he knows it's true.
Well, speaking of people that does believe in Sean Jovi, that is Ox McCoy, and definitely this is definitely not a love song from Ox McCoy. You just heard that song the other day, by the way.
It is.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. But thank you. Yes, I appreciate the intro. Yes. Steamy pile of fill in the blanks. I'm gonna leave that at that. Yeah, we'll leave that at that. But speaking of people that obviously have something to say towards you, it is the IMF. Well, I mean, I guess it's a good way to subject into him. Who cares about this guy and what he's doing at Summerbash? It's about, I mean, we'll get to that in a little while. There's a comment or two I have about
him. Stand in line. I was here first.
Now he though is partially the IMF champion or the co-IMF champion. He says he's the real champion. What's your thoughts on all that?
Just saw the goddamn title in half already.
But
That's part one. If I see a sawed in half IMF title this weekend, I will lose my shit. But hey, it's an interesting time in IMF, especially with Damien holding one half of the belt and Omen holding the other half.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about this with Anthony, and I was trying to.
It's a weird tug of war, man.
Yeah, I was trying to think back in my career. Where have you seen two world champions or two men claiming to be the world champion? I mean, I don't know if I've seen that before. I mean, it's kind of a, like you said, it's a crossroads for the IMF. Basically.
Yeah, it is. It's a very dangerous crossroads too.
And between these two guys, it's going to be 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Scorcher, real scorcher. They're going down in a blaze of glory, Tom.
Yes, they are. And it did feel like last week here in New York City, it literally felt like for about 3 days, 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. I kid you not. It was literally when I was sick. I think we did a show, and then like the next day I got sick all of a sudden. It was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here. It literally felt like 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. But
wow. A little overheated.
Yeah. Well, I'm not now. Now I'm back almost 100%, but taking a lot longer than I like, but that's okay. Summerbash will host its first real balls to the wall. By the way, except reference there, death match this year, and I couldn't be more proud to be one half of that. So that's another reason why we're very excited about Summerbash. I have something for Summerbash in a little while, so we'll get to that. And speaking of people from the GBYWN, Mr. Doc Holliday, a man that I hear wrestled somebody that is also out and traveling different places. I'll leave that at that for Instagram. We'll check that out from our NEW friends. But how you doing there, Mr. Holliday? Good to see Doc Holliday. Yes. Zilla says that the real IMF world champion is Omen Black. I mean, Damian Saint, though, seems to say he's the world champion, though, the real one. I don't know. But we're really going to get to some more comments. Hello there. Hello. And I'll screw myself because everyone else is getting greeted by Doc, but not me. Yeah. Well, I hope well, actually, Doc Holliday says hello to him. Speaking of people that were very excited about you coming here, apparently Justin Parsley's #1 fan.
Well, at least Parsley's cool, but like you need to find a better person to idolize.
Well, maybe with his concussion, he doesn't even remember who she is.
You might not even remember who he is. He might not even remember Soldiers' flavor of the month.
Well, I'm not going to go there with them. I'm trying to think of that. There was a TV show where somebody all of a sudden got hit on the head with something, and they were like, they just forgot everything. I'm just trying to. I'm going to remember the reference when we're off the air. But there was a show famous that had that. I don't think Mr. Parsley is going to go through that. But thanks for acknowledging me on your own accord. Okay, very good. Very good. Zilla, you're forgetting to call me the true king like you have in the past. Okay. Speaking of people that are one of my favorites that I really need to get on Sportswire. He's also a Samoan, by the way. He's a champion also. Like another person that you share a locker room with in the foundation. Mr. Daniel Tafu! He's the USWA Universal Champion, and he's been in a number of different places that like the WVWF, our friends there in West Virginia. I've seen him in Pro Wrestling Cheap Shots, LAW, a company in Pittsburgh kind of going the way. We kind of referenced a company in Shelbyville, but he says hello. But hello. There we go. There you go. The true. Let me read it off to the one true king of Palo, the one true king of Sportswire, and the one true king of the underground, the leader of the House of Wolves, Omen Black. And that's a lot of emojis there. A lot of emojis. A lot of them.
She's the Kyle Shelby. She's like Omen's. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
was a big natural
Kyle Shelby's a Sean Jovi fan.
Well, she was a big Natural Selection fan, and Jason Storm didn't want Kyle Shelby anything to do with him in Natural Selection. So, what were you playing on PlayStation, by the way, Doc Holliday? What were you playing? I haven't played Xbox or anything in about 4 years, so maybe you can enlighten me. I still have my eyes open and look up and accept the truth. That's very nice. I hope you continue to do that. And while I would like to go out there and put some more comments up, I did want to put and promote something for myself here for the chat because Well, I like to put this up there. There you go, because there it is. You want to go to blabbermouth.net, 1,000,000 readers daily, and there you go. Some guy that was on yesterday's show, Mr. Phil Lewis, and he got quoted, and along with my question from blabbermouth.net, you could see Sportswire Radio. If you could see it, check out the article. I'll put the link up for it, and you can see some of the advice he gave to some of you wrestlers out there, you up and comers, you different guys. He gave some advice, and he says, embrace the butterflies. So, Sean Jovi, you better embrace the butterflies, because Phil Lewis said to embrace the butterflies. Even Omen Black, Doc Holiday, Zilla, everyone here in the chat, you should embrace the butterflies, because if a million selling plus artist says it, then maybe it's a good thing. And his last album with the band LA Guns, Leopard Skin, is out, and it debuted on the charts. It actually charted higher than Taylor Swift's on that week of the Billboard chart. So he seems to be knowing a few things or two about how to. Yeah. He seems to be doing well. So the band seems to be doing well. I put the link up in the description. So you want to check the article out, check out some of the stuff. And there's my face with Mr. Lewis. Thank you, Blabbermouth. And there you go. We'll take that off the screen. We'll get to some more comments, because I know people want to talk to you. And it's okay, Doc. I'll be your Huckleberry. I haven't heard that term in a while. Before I leave IMF, it would be interesting. Doc Holiday versus Omen Black. That'd be a very interesting match, by the way. That'll be a very interesting match.
I'd pay to see it. If I was,
and you know him very well from the GBYWN. He's a man that has made quite a name for himself. And he's very good friends with the brand new GTS Hardcore Champion, Gabe Sayers, who's apparently coming to IMF and wrestling Anthony Steele. I mean, boy, that's going to be one.
I'm excited to meet Gabe.
I'm excited because
of the meat list.
Yeah, I'm excited because we got Ace Christian and Gabe Sayers showing up here. I mean, that's great news that we have them both showing up at One Night Stand. And Ace Christian's here Monday night, 8 o'clock. He's going to talk about his return to the IMF. I think that's some very exciting developments that just broke today. Your match with Kyle Shelby and Ace Christian's coming back to IMF for One Night Stand.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I enjoyed Ace Christian's performance last time he was there. He helped my RSW champion excel and to make him get to that point of becoming champion.
Absolutely.
Ace Christian is a star, and he can help people become stars, and that's what I like about the kid. He's young, he's fast, he's good. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
He's already in the Indies. We're going to talk about him wrestling in West Virginia, the WDWA. Also, VTW, DBW, a lot of talk there. And I am very excited about Ace Christian, the Blaze Ace Christian here. I know, yes, that Blaze is here. He's going to be here Monday night, and he's returning to the IMF the following weekend. Very excited about that. And we'll get to some more comments. I'll give the Duke some pointers for this rock star. I acknowledge you. Yes, acknowledge Daniel Tafua. And speaking of one of my buddies who I know will be tuned in this weekend, because we have coverage here for home, our friends over in beautiful Buffalo, New York. And good luck to Mickey Vargas. Mickey is on a new journey for his wrestling career. He's moving to Texas. But in the meantime, Torrance Banks is here, and I'm very excited about that. He is certainly no fan of Kyle Shelby, because he said Kyle Shelby fears Torrance Banks. And you know what? Kyle Shelby talked a lot about wrestling Torrance Banks. So he talked a lot about him. And we'll see. I will be asking our play-by-play man at home a little bit about Torrance Banks and a lot more of these developments coming up this Saturday. I do not acknowledge anyone but myself and the house, so you know that you're not being acknowledged. I want it. Shelby owns my ones. Well, we're going to find out. Hit the sub button for Sean Jovi on YouTube. What's up, Sean Jovi? Yeah, what's up, Sean Jovi? How you feeling, Sean Jovi?
Feeling great.
A lot of people.
Because I'm here, Tom.
No, I'm happy about it. We got a lot of people here. People are excited. You know, we're in Blabbermouth. Things are moving along. Yes, hello. What's up? How we doing, Torrance? Yes, he is a Sean Jovi fan. Jovi greater than Shelby. Well, we'll see if you could deliver that for us. And he wants next. So we'll have to see.
Down.
Well, I got to get to management, because management has some news that is really a big development here. And I'm excited to report on it, because due to some unfortunate events, our, of course, dear friend Darkron, the man that, by the way, hosted the first two Summer Bashes, will not be attending Summerbash and won't be facing Omen Black for his share of the IMF Championship, but a mystery opponent will take his spot and face Omen. And who could it be? Now, that's a great question. That's obviously a development that obviously we wish Kron would have been there. But listen, things happen. Hope he's doing well. But who do you think that could be? Could it even be you, Sean Jovi? Once again, you and Omen again.
Yet. That's the thing about mystery opponents. You never know who's going to show up. And at a big event like Summerbash, you know.
Maybe Torrance Banks. Maybe it could be Torrance Banks. Could you Torrance is here. He wants next. I mean, that would be a really intriguing possibility. Maybe Mickey Vargas on the way to Texas. He goes out and wrestles Omen Black. He was the home champion. I mean, that would be a dream matchup. It's really unknown. It could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, hey, it could be Kyle Shelby.
You know what? That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about that. He wants to beat you and then be that opponent to face Omen Black. Boy, that's why I told you he might be trying to make a name off you. I mean, that's just, I don't know. But we'll have to see. I'm excited to see about that. And you ain't leaving till I get my shot. Well, I tell you what, there you go. And speaking of more news, breaking news, we will crown the first ever PWF Global Champion at Summerbash here in a 10-person battle royal. Now, what's your thoughts on that? Obviously, that's a development that you might be curious in. And the PWF Global Championship, a new championship being rolled out by management here of the PWF. And is that something that interests you?
Hey, if there's a spot open, I could take it. I'm always willing to do.
What a big thing for you in your amazing career to be all of a sudden the PWF Global Champion on top of everything you've done. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's getting interesting here. And Des, thank you, Zilla. I appreciate you, Zilla, very much. And yes, if you want to read the article on Blabbermouth, check it out. But here we go. We have here. What's up, Jovi? Obviously, we have Xavier Thorne here, who his mother, unfortunately, tomorrow is the anniversary of his mom's birthday, but his mom's no longer with us. But obviously, he'll be back out there in the ring. We wish him well, and thank you very much for tuning in. And also, you and Tor, you both are Pokemon players, both established Pokemon players. You both are big guys, both are veterans. I mean, that would be a match I think a lot of people would like to see. Maybe Torrance Banks could find his way to Iowa. He obviously.
I'm more than down. Well,
I'll tell you what. I hope that it happens, and I'm going to ask some of these.
Hit me up. We'll work on it.
Buddy's going to be here Saturday. I'm going to ask about that, so I'm going to make sure that topic is talked about. Yes, hello there, and happy early birthday to your mom. And there you go. See what I mean? I mean, could it be Torrance Banks showing up? Could you imagine that? What a surprise that would be. Torrance Banks, a man that has done a lot in home. We've seen him in NEW. We've seen him in a lot of other places in the past. And to travel to the Midwest, who knows? And maybe it could be a rock star. Could be you. Could be maybe even, your tag team partner, your best friend Mephisto, a man that obviously held the IMF championship last year. Could even be a dragon. I mean, it could be a Samoan dragon even, or maybe a sleaze. Well, that guy doesn't even know where he is right now. So I think the chances of Justin Parsley being he doesn't want that yet right now. I don't think he's ready for Omen Black again.
No, probably not.
Well, that's okay. Well, he's obviously not. But I mean, it could be anybody. It could be anybody. I mean, it could be Matthew Forsaken even. Anybody thought about that? I mean, because we know Darkron's not going to be there, but Matthew Forsaken doesn't roll with Darkron. He does what he wants.
Yeah, it's true.
Could be Matthew Forsaken. He's got history with Omen Black. A lot of history. I mean, that would be somebody that I think a lot of people would say, you know what? I hadn't thought about that. That would make sense.
Never say never situation. They faced off at the first Summerbash.
Yeah. There's a lot of history there between those two. Matthew Forsaken, he's not loyal to anybody. He bangs his own drum, and maybe he's behind why Darkron's not showing up, and he's going to take Darkron's spot. Has anybody thought about that?
I haven't. It would be a very dark horse pick, but I
tell you what, that's who I would say I'm going with, because think about it, right? As we're here with the resident rock star Sean Jovi for a little while longer, think about it. Kron and Forsaken have had some recent history in ROBW. Those two guys right now are not seeing eye to eye. We know their history, their long history together. Even though they might be brothers, they've had a long-standing, it's the longest-standing rivalry anywhere. It's even a longer-standing rivalry than you and Darkfire. We're talking about over 2 decades. We also know that Matthew Forsaken has a lot of history in IMF and a lot of history with Omen Black in Summerbash, like you said. And to me, that would make a lot of sense. Matthew Forsaken, we're all Forsaken. He sees it as an opportunity for him to pick up the pieces and see if he could maybe bring home the IMF World Championship. That's to me the pick that would make a lot of sense. And I'm surprised nobody's talking about it.
I don't know, but hey, we got to see what happens now.
And you know what? I got Xavier Thorne here. Maybe it could be Omen Black versus Xavier Thorne. I mean, a lot of people, Xavier Thorne's a guy that's obviously studied under the tutelage of the legendary Copper Dragon, a man that is studied under the tutelage of the likes of Mr. Hardcore, by the way, a legendary standout star in the GBYWN. We know him from everything he's done out there with Copper Dragon, GWC, and maybe that's the guy that's going to be the mystery opponent. Xavier Thorne takes on Omen Black. I mean, that could be a match. A lot of people, you know what? I didn't realize that that's a possibility because again, Xavier Thorne's out there training. I mean, he's obviously going out there in the ring and, you know, he's been doing a lot of different stuff out there. I mean, I think that would be another potential opponent that, hey, maybe Xavier Thorne sees this as an opportunity to right some wrongs and he wants to show it. And he's also shared a locker room with Anthony Steele. So he knows a lot about Omen Black. They shared, obviously, a lot of stories. And I'm sure Steele has talked to Thorne about how to beat Omen Black. And maybe he's the man that's the mystery opponent.
Could be. Anything's really possible, Tom.
Who knows, really? Who really knows? I mean, who knows? But
it could be anybody.
Well, I'll tell you who it's not. It's the new
PWF. I was going to say, I know it's not him.
It's not him, but he's the PWF Uprising champion, our new champion, James Taylor, the legendary James Taylor, who's going to be here Sunday on Sportswire Radio. And he is going to talk a lot about what's going on here in ROEW. And, you know, before I transition and let you go here in a few minutes, I did want to bring up Jason Storm one more time. And obviously, Jason Storm is the ROEW champion. Your brother, Soldier GP, the All Wrestling Matters champion. They have had quite a back and forth here over the past several hours. We've seen it on Facebook. Check out the IMF's Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram. Check it all out. So what do you think happens here? Because these two men have a lot of history together between Storm and Soldier. And what do you think happens here?
You know, it's going to be a clash of two big titans, one from ROEW, the world champion of that promotion, one of the biggest promotions in the underground, especially in the Midwest. I mean, and then you got Soldier GP, one of my best friends, the man who is my All Wrestling Matters champion.
Absolutely.
My brother in arms. I mean, it's hard. My foundation brother. It's hard to pick. I mean, it shouldn't be. You know what it is at the end of the day.
Soldier's been such a fighting champion. He has been fighting so many obstacles.
About him. That's why I look up to him as a sensei because I have a lot to learn still, and I love learning from him.
Yes, and this man
if it wasn't for him, RCW wouldn't be running wild like it is right now.
Absolutely. No, he is a good man, and obviously he has fought through so much. He's lost his brother, Omen Black. He's definitely lost his new best friend, Justin Parsley. Doesn't even know where he is right now. He's been dealing with the House of Wolves, and now he's dealing with Jason Storm, a man that James Taylor has had a lot of problems with, and James Taylor is going to talk further about him Sunday night, and I don't know where to go here on this match.
It could go any direction, Tom. You know I would always support Soldier at the end of the day, but James Storm's a different kind of human.
Yeah, he's just right now the run he's been on.
Angrier and a man with a lot of rage to let out. So
he's definitely got some rage.
He gets it. I'm hoping Soldier can retain it as the biased opinion of a good friend. But you know, Jason Storm maybe winning the strap would be a change of pace for the All Wrestling Matters title as it travels to another promotion.
And he's been on an amazing run. We know he's done this before. He was the DKW champion. Then he named it to the ROEW Midwestern Championship. So he's been on an amazing run. And I do, before I get to something else, I want to say hello to somebody that's eventually going to come on here. He and I have been talking for about a month or so, and it's our friends from Extreme Basement Wrestling. And yeah, Basement Wrestling. I've watched some of it, and these guys can go. I tell you what, I mean,
I've done it. I've done it. First
Yeah.
RCW show in existence.
These guys, I tell you what, maybe they should open up for LA Guns here. LA Guns is going out. They're going to go play with Ricky Rocket of Poison in about 3 weeks. And maybe they should be the opening act, because these guys have about as much energy and can certainly put on a show. But if you want to watch some of their content, we're going to talk about it here probably in a few weeks. And they actually come not too far from my neck of the woods. They're in Long Island. I'm in New York City. So we're actually a part of the same island. They're a different island, though. I'm here. I'm a Brooklyn guy. They're a Long Island guys. But check out their content. And I'm excited about them. They got some stuff they're going to talk about. And we'll see some of the guys here. But give them a chance. Give them a chance. We're going to try to get some new people. We're trying to get some new people on here eventually. When
that's what we need. We need to rebuild this community. So, like, why not give it a shot?
Well, you know what, Sean Jovi? I'm going to give you something to be motivated for all the guys here that are going to compete in Summerbash. I know some of them are obviously getting ready, and maybe that's why they're not showing up tonight. They're very busy, but it is Summerbash Day here on all Sportswire radio platforms. So once again, we will award it to everybody that's going to be there at the show. And congratulations to everybody. It's a Summerbash here day on Sportswire Radio. And I'm very excited about this year's Summerbash 3. Where does the time fly? And time certainly flies when you're having fun. And you guys are definitely having a lot of fun. And congratulations. And I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Hey, on behalf of IMF, I think this is great. I appreciate it, Tom. We accept it. We love it.
No, we love having an IMF on.
I mean, like, the thing is, and this is just me, Summerbash last year was probably the best weekend I've had in my 30s, maybe even my 20s.
Wow.
So, and maybe overall, like, I had a lot of fun last year, reigniting the friendship and rivalry with Remy, all that stuff that happened at Summerbash, the vlog highlights, everything. It's going to hold a moment in my heart forever. And that's what I'm hoping to accomplish this weekend, too. Not just beat the dog piss out of Kyle Shelby, not to beat the living hell out of Darkfire, but build memories and have moments. This is my return to the yard. I haven't wrestled in a backyard since last year. And we know I will always be my home, will be the yard at the end of the day.
Yeah.
In my heart, at least. But
no, I think that it's important.
You know what I mean? I'm a yarder at heart all the time. It's where I came from. It's a homecoming, and that's what I want to treat it as. It's a homecoming. It's a WrestleMania for me personally in my heart. And people say Winter Clash is the IMF WrestleMania. Well, to me, Summerbash has a little special place in my heart. So that's what's so exciting about this for me this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's always great to see events like this and give people an opportunity to connect. And that's really what it should be about at the end of the day. And I think it's great to see that the IMF goes back to its roots a little bit here. I think it's great. I know you guys have had, massive success, and congratulations to everybody a part of that in the locker room and the people that work backstage and everybody else that puts these shows together. But I think this is going to be good for people. I really think people are going to have some fun. It's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to talking about it further. Just like last weekend, the guys over in mostly VTW and DBW, and Matt DeMorris was a part of that. Sean Phoenix were a part of Best in the Yard 4. So I think that this will follow that, and we have some great stuff there. But I do have the PWF management that like to say, management heard you loud and clear, Sean Jovi. You want a shot to be the secondary champion, the PWF Global Champion. You're in the battle royal. Congratulations. There you go.
Hey, there we go. Appreciate it.
Ask for it, you shall receive. And thank you to our friends in EBW. And we'll be on here very soon. We'll figure it out in the next.
Yeah, I'll tune in for sure. I'm intrigued.
I'm telling you, you know what? I'm going to give a little sample because these guys, I tell you what, they're really interesting. I tell you what, they got some interest. I'm going to do it because you're having fun right now, and I think you're my only guest right now. So I'll put up. I'm telling you what, these guys, they got some characters. They got some characters. So you can see him out there. Look at the setup here. I mean, boy. I mean,
This is nuts.
they got the Eddie Belfour hockey poster there. Boy, you can tell they're from Long Island because they got the Islander stuff. But yeah, it's exciting stuff, and definitely.
It looks kind of fun. Is that like their homemade?
Yeah, I watched a couple of it.
That's
I
crazy.
actually,
They have a
I
band.
stumbled. Yeah, I see. It was funny. I actually stumbled upon it just randomly. It was on my YouTube feed, and all of a sudden, I was just watching it. I was like, "Wow!" I looked it up, and I saw them on Instagram, and then I think they followed me. I was like, "Oh, who are these people that followed me?" And then there you go. So yeah, you get a little a salad taste and wet the palate, and that's what we'll talk about. Yeah, I mean, so there's wrestling.
I'm getting a kick out of it. I don't know about
yeah,
but I'm actually entertained right now.
It reminds me as a kid when I was growing up in Brooklyn for a period of time. I remember in my house, we didn't have a basement at that time, but my brothers and I were like play wrestling for a little bit, but then it was like
That's how it started for me.
Well, but I was always like superstitious. Oh, somebody's gonna ring the bell, and then we did it for like 20-30 minutes, and then that's whatever reason either the phone would ring or the bell would ring. So that it was like, yeah, we're not doing that. I got in trouble, and then it was like, yeah, I went to something else. But that's some of the stuff. You can check it out. And all right, well, you know what? All right, let's go with a couple things here. Let's go back to Darkfire before I go to Shelby. Final words. Anything final you want to say about Darkfire? Anything you want to say before you see him one more time here?
Darkfire, buddy, brother, if we even are those anymore. You got a lot to prove this weekend. People say I have a lot to prove. Darkfire, I have nothing to prove when it comes to you. I am always going to be better than you. I am pretty much your sensei when it comes to this. You're my apprentice. You're the one who started RCW with me. You were initially my right-hand man in the whole operation. But hey, things happen, right? Things just explode and friendships go away. And for what? Because they're jealous? Because they think they deserve the spotlight that I have on me right now? No, not one bit. Darkfire, if you want to prove that you're better than me, if you want to prove that you could stand toe-to-toe with the mic on me, which you can't.
That's pretty kindly over the last 3 years with Darkfire.
Right. I mean, I hate saying it, but I may not be the best promo artist on earth, but then there's, well, we're not going to go there. But hey, this is his chance to prove me wrong. And hey, throughout this whole rivalry, that's all I want him to try and do is prove me wrong, because that's what he's going to have to do to beat me this weekend.
Well, we're going to find that out. And obviously, it's a match that we talk about history. These two men have 19 years history. That's more than half their lives. That's obviously going to be larger than life here. And I have to ask it to you because I know he'll eventually hear this. Kyle Shelby, final words for before Selby versus Shelby. So what's your final words here for Kyle Shelby before this weekend?
Kyle, cross-dressing won't even save you from what I'm going to do to you this weekend. I'm not afraid to wrestle someone like that. So you can try that. You can think you're better than me. Hell, put the title on the line and prove it if you really want. I don't give a damn. I just want to prove that I am the relevant one in this story. I am the hero in this story. And I got to prove that by taking on a guy who thinks his last name's better than mine. That's just how it goes. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's just the mission I've been sent on from God, my friend.
Well, we're going to certainly find out. And obviously, we're very excited. And of course, RCW is a huge part of Summerbash this year. Summerbash takes place this weekend. You can go to the IMF pages and RCW's page as well on Facebook, and it'll certainly be more than large in life. But, Sean Jovi, I was going to let you go, but apparently I have received word that there is somebody that has come on to the chat here that is in the stream and now wants to be on with you. And I guess hopefully not close out your career, but close out tonight's show with just a few words. Now, I was going to let you go. I can let you get ready. I know you got to get ready for a long day tomorrow, long commute. But do you want me to bring on this person? Because I have no idea who they are. They've apparently decided that they want to talk to you and to everybody else out here watching this right now in regards to this big show for Summerbash 3. Would you like me to bring this person on?
Yeah, feel free. It's a party. I thought we were going to have more guests tonight. I didn't know it was going to be.
Yeah, last year it was like, I think we did it. You guys were all in Bremen. It was like last year was a party. This year, well, maybe everybody's getting ready to travel, but I'm going to do it.
That's a big part of it. Tomorrow's the 4th.
Yeah, that's another part of it too. But forget about all of that because we are joined here now by the IMF champion, the leader of the House of Wolves. Before we sign off, Omen Black on his show, who wants to address Sean Jovi and everybody else out there in the show. Yes.
The real IMF World Champion. Everyone seems to forget that one word, the real IMF World Champion.
Yes.
I'm the real ramp champ.
What's that?
I want to be the real ramp champ if that's what you are.
Good luck taking that from me, pal. You tried last year, you failed.
We didn't actually host the actual contest, so it's a no contest. Bro.
If we did, you wouldn't beat me anyways.
It's a new venue, though.
I know your secret.
This year. New rules, could be new setup. Who knows?
Your track record shows you can't beat anyone lately.
That's true. That's true too. That's a good point. That's a good point there. Point well taken.
I've been studying your ramp secrets, Omen. Maybe that's why I haven't been winning.
Listen, I can tell you the secrets myself. You ain't gonna beat me.
All right. So why are you here, Omen? It took you long enough to show up. I thought you would have.
I know it took. The show was an hour long, talking about what you were doing at Summerbash. Yeah, management wants to screw me over because Darkron can't be here. But I still got to defend my title.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, boo-hoo. But it might be you, it might be this Banks guy, it might be a dragon, it might be a guy who thinks he's from the galaxy far, far away, like some Star Wars nerd. But it doesn't matter who it's going to be, Jovi. If it's you, I've already beaten you. If it's Mephisto, I've already beaten him. Torrance Banks, he can't tie my boots. And Dragon, I got my hands on him 2 weeks from now. And Tom wants to pitch the idea of Matthew Forsaken. Matthew Forsaken and Omen Black have a lot of history.
Yeah, a lot of history to him. He's the guy to me that legitimately makes the most sense. He's the guy to me that he doesn't see eye to eye with Kron. He's beaten Kron recently, and what better way to eliminate someone close to you and take their spot and go for maybe one more opportunity to claim gold, major gold that you have, sir.
See, I'm hoping if I was Forsaken, I'm hoping it's not me challenging Omen Black for his world title. If I'm Matthew Forsaken, I wish management would not tell me it's Matthew Forsaken. If I'm anyone that's not me, I'm worried that the management's going to pick me to feed me to Omen. Sacrifice me to Omen Black. See, Jovi, are you the man, though? Are you the mystery opponent?
Hey, I'll never tell. I don't even know. Nobody called me about it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get picked. Summerbash is still a few days away, my friend.
See, but you're a foundation liar. They all lie. So you might know right now, and you're not going to tell us.
Do you want to know, champ? Do you want to know who it is? Or you want to wait till this weekend?
I want to know who exactly the IMF management decided to put against me for their, I guess, misfortunate luck.
Don't look at me, Omen. I'm not management. I'm just the
video editor. You're getting title shots at Summerbash now. You're getting the global. You're the global battle royal now. Where's mine? Where is mine?
You
I tell you whose name was brought up that we didn't.
You won a match and had to saw your title in half. That's what happened.
But I tell you what, Omen, on your show, that there was a name that was also brought up by management that you were in the ring with not too long ago, and you put on the shelf, and Justin Parsley. What would your opinion be of you and Justin Parsley again?
If it's Justin Parsley, I'm going to finish the job. I'm going to finish what he started at Rage in the Cage. And I'm not meaning by Justin Parsley. No, I'm meaning he who Justin Parsley was in the ring with at Rage in the Cage. Does it make sense?
Makes plenty of sense, but I guess we'll find out. I mean, I think it's a really, in some ways, maybe I would rather have just faced Kron because you knew what you were getting. We talked about this match for the better part of about 2.5 months on here.
I just think this has all been foundation mind games. Oh, it's going to be Dark Kron. It's going to be Dark Kron.
Kron was here talking about it. I mean, that was the thing. But I guess you were the one, I think, that brought it up that said, listen, Steele stacked him. He pinned him in Drago when he was here last 2 months ago. So really, at the end of the day, Kron being here, I mean, we knew the outcome. If Steele couldn't beat him, obviously everything's good with you and Steele again. You apologized to him that really there was no reason for Dark Kron to show up anyway.
Yeah, a guy who took the U.S. title from this guy. Am I correct, Jovi?
Yeah.
Took your what'd you call it? Had a ridiculous, stupid name.
Keith
Howard. He took your Keith Howard from you, didn't he?
He did.
Now, why do you think you're going to take anyone else's belt or anyone else's championship at Summerbash? You're not going to beat the Duke. You're not going to beat Darkfire.
Boy, you really doubt on Jovi. I mean, so you don't even think so. I mean, Omen Black, Kyle Shelby. So you feel Kyle Shelby's going to beat Sean Jovi this week? I mean, how do you know this? I mean, we don't really know much about Kyle Shelby in the ring these past several months because, well, Jason Storm, a man that I know you're obviously pulling for against Soldier GP for the All Wrestling Matters World Championship, put him out on the shelf, and we haven't seen him in a ring for the better part of over 3 months since. Well, what Jason Storm and Natural Selection did to Kyle Shelby. So you must know something that none of us know, and Kyle Shelby's going to walk in here and walk into Summerbash and beat Sean Jovi.
Because these guys, especially this guy right here, he thinks he has the home field advantage. It's Summerbash, right? This is your second Summerbash. You've been here. You're used to the pressure of Summerbash, Jovi, but that is where you're wrong. It's not in Bremen, Ohio. It's not in the Foundation's property. No, Summerbash this year takes place at the House of Wolves compound.
That's an interesting point. That's a clever point by the champion because the champion just said, listen, this is House of Wolves territory. It isn't Palo in the Palo Community Center. It isn't Bremen, Ohio, which was the DKW compound. This is House of Wolves turf now, and Foundation now are the road team, and now instead of you guys having all these advantages here in the Palo Community Center, it's House of Wolves home field advantage, and well, like a pack of wolves, that could be to the detriment of you, Sean Jovi, and the rest of your brethren in the Foundation.
Now, maybe if it was a backyard in Appleton, Wisconsin, maybe you have a shot.
I don't know of any. Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know of any.
Yeah, I know.
Not on this platform anymore.
DPW backwards, okay?
Well, I thought Racine, Wisconsin was the one you knew about. No, different.
Who?
Is it
Racine? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. Did anyone else watch a certain, I guess, former Hardcore Kings podcast not that long ago?
I had not. I had. In case you may, I know you're a busy man, but we actually get in the real news. I was just in Blabbermouth with LA Guns. I didn't watch some other ones. It
was a show of misfits. We had a guy. With a guy named Lethal J or Loose Cannon. We had a guy named Zach Attack who had shit stains in his drawers. We had Silver Wolf. We had Atomic Titan. I guess the only sane one. We had a drop down. I guess another one that's sane. But then we had Xavier Thorne. It was just a misfit show.
That's why I'm very happy to say we were in Blabbermouth and we had LA Guns in it. We want to keep the bands
You're in
coming.
the bigger, better places.
You would have thought it was like the second coming of the Foundation. Just rejects.
Well,
and
I think I'm
misfits.
going with your. You know what, sir? I'm going with your line on Sunday's show where you talked about the Space Jam movie with all those little misfits that the NBA players had to play. That's basically what that sounds like. I mean, all those names you mentioned. I don't know much. I couldn't tell you anything about them since those names. Many of them were linked to certain things, so I have no idea about them. I didn't watch. But I'm watching you right now on your platform, and this is the platform that just got featured on a little website that has 1 million readers daily. So I'm going to look at it like apples and oranges.
But Sean Jovi, you have no shot at Summerbash. Soda GP has no shot at Summerbash this year. No one in the Foundation has a shot of any success while we're at the house. Because the house will always win.
And that's what Ox just said. Ox McCoy just put it out there. The house always wins. And Zilla, you don't get to know who is because that's up to management. And I think management is going to make us wait till this weekend. And that's what I think their decision very well could be. And we won't know. And maybe, you know what, Omen? What do you think about Chase Wakefield being one of the opponents? Because he's a guy that, just want to remind you, defeated Aaron Blaze recently. Not Ace Christian, the Blaze, but the other guy with the Blaze. His name. He defeated him. And maybe Chase Wakefield's decided that after wrestling last weekend in Best in the Yard 4, that now he wants to go to another super show and maybe be that mystery opponent against Jimmy. He's got to win under his belt against Aaron Blaze. So he figures maybe he can parlay that into a title shot against you, maybe.
Perhaps.
He says it's me.
Perhaps.
See? He says it's me.
See, now I know he's lying.
Well, if he said it was Aaron Blaze who was the mystery opponent, how would you react toward that?
His wrestling doesn't matter.
Okay, good enough. But listen, Chase Wakefield, obviously, maybe we don't know definitively.
Listen, it's not Aaron Blaze. Shout out to Aaron Blaze.
I like Aaron Blaze.
I'm not
but
wrestling on a trampoline, bud.
Well, neither is Aaron Blaze or Chase Wakefield, but he said he said literally in Idaho there's too many potatoes. So yeah, he's not the guy. He's not the guy at the moment, and he's surrounded by potatoes. Good. When I have my French fries, I'll think of you. But yeah, he's not going to be there. He's confirming he's not going to be there. But he wanted to say hi. It's nice of him.
But you know what?
We have corn over there.
I'll say
potatoes.
Jovi. As much you're gonna blow it, I know you're gonna choke. I'll pull for you in the PWF Global Championship Battle Royal. For only one reason, though, because if you do win that title, it's just gonna drive a wedge between you and the Foundation, like I want. So please,
I don't
Jovi,
think so. I think Jovi talked about Soldier, though. He talked about his sensei, and he learned so much from him. He's so grateful for him. So no, Jovi.
But let's not forget what he also said 20 minutes before that about him and Mr. Parsley. Oh, they're just each other's favorite of the month.
Well, he's got strong opinions about Justin Parsley because you have to remember this, Omen. Sean Jovi is a loyal friend and a loyal soldier to Soldier GP. He remembers that history when Justin Parsley worked for a company that we obviously forgot where it was and what the name of it was, that he remembers that history. And he has been somebody that stood side by side with the Foundation and Soldier GP. So he still has his reservations. That's why he says that about Justin Parsley. But Soldier GP, he is still learning from him. He's growing from him. And he is so forever grateful of Soldier GP.
He's a real American, don't you know?
He is. He is.
Yes.
And,
someone called him a Hulk Hogan before. I get it. I get the joke.
Nah,
I get it.
Listen, I love Hulk Hogan. I love Soldier GP. But speaking of people, Omen Black, that are big fans of yours.
Next comment.
That don't work for me, brother.
I think we all can agree. The Foundation, the House may not agree on a lot of things. Probably nothing. But I think we can agree that, Jade, you need to find some better role models.
Well, actually, it's funny you said that before we go, because I actually asked Jovi about that, and he actually said the same thing. He actually did say the same thing about her and this Justin Parsley guy. But he does Jeopardy trivia. He hosts Jeopardy trivia, and he's a DJ. So maybe
how's he doing that in a hospital bed right now? He ain't.
I don't know. Maybe they like wheel the Jeopardy set to him, and he just like I don't know. That's a great point, actually. Objectively speaking, that's a great point. That's a great point. Then she says hello, but yeah, she did it in reverse. It should have been hello, and then
Before we
okay,
go, can I ask Mr. Jovi one thing?
You can ask him 100 things. It's your show, sir.
Be honest. What do you think about your thief of a brother in the foundation, Damian Saint, stealing my IMF World title that I want fair and square?
Honestly, your misery makes me happy. So, I mean, seeing you having to share your title with Damian kind of brings a little joy to my heart. Even though, you know, Damian, he doesn't have the greatest track record. I'll admit it. But it's kind of funny seeing how you're the world champion, but now you're only half the champion you used to be, in simpler terms.
I know you did not just call me half the champion I once was. I'm the champion.
The half
You
champion.
do have the Saw reference.
One half of the IMF world champion. I know.
I am the champion of all the underground.
Well, he did give the Saw reference earlier, and yeah, Jovi, rude. What are a Omen in training like Felix? I don't even know what she's talking about.
You need to go back to school because.
Can you please tell me in English?
There's potatoes on there. Maybe she's talking about Chase Wakefield too.
Maybe please give me an English reference. Well, Chase Wakefield's going to be taken in a month, Princess JD. He's getting married, so maybe he'll invite you to the wedding. But
I still want to go, but I can't.
well, we'll find out. Let's see. We'll find out. But I mean. So we'll have to see. So anything else you want to say, Champ? Any final words you got before the big show? And by the way, it is Summerbash Day here on Sportswire. We'll give this to everybody here. And we want to thank all the talent that's going to be out there in the ring. We got a lot more IMF coverage coming up here. Ace Christian is here Monday. He's got a few things to say, apparently, Omen. I'm sure you'll be paying attention to very closely. Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Ace Christian's back. So a lot of stuff ahead coming up.
I like Ace. No, it's a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
But again, I saw a little promo he had just a little bit ago.
I was waiting for that.
And he said he wouldn't mind if I was standing across the ring from him. And I think 100% truly, in the bottom of my heart, that is utter bullshit. Because I see the fear in everyone's eyes when they have to look across that ring and they see me. I saw it in Jovi's eyes. I saw it in Mephisto's eyes. I saw it in Justin Parsley's eyes.
I think he's got you confused with his daddy. I think that's what it is. Maybe he's got you confused with his daddy. That's why.
There's so many daddy issues in this sport we call underground wrestling. It's pathetic.
Pretty much. I would actually say point well taken, but he'll have plenty to say about that. And also, Princess JD wants to clarify. I meant, what are you and Omen in training? No, Jovi's here before he.
I'm far from that thing.
No, I have my camera off because I don't need to show anyone what I have up my sleeve.
That's you know what? And obviously we're in and that's a good point before we sign off here. This Summer Bash is going to be different also in the fact that, listen, this is in the House of Wolves compound. This is a rare thing. This is the home field advantage that the Wolves have been waiting for. So whether it's Felix, whether it's the Midwest Express, whether it's Oxford Boy, whether it's certainly Omen Black, and yes, Anthony Steele. I mean, this is advantage House of Wolves. So if you're a foundation member or elsewhere right now, you better be sleeping with one eye open and maybe reevaluating your plan. Maybe if you're Justin Parsley, you want to stick to being at Kendall's Tavern and being the DJ for the weekend. Maybe you want to stick to Jeopardy trivia because at this point right now, it's House of Wolves. They've got the numbers. They've got the advantage, and I think that's where it's going. And also, this is what she also wants to say further. I will say Jovi is a better King of Palo than Omen.
Damn right. Hey, I want it. I want it first.
Only Omen, Felix, Soldier, and me understand what I mean by this reference. Okay, I appreciate that very much.
Is she calling you a potato, Omen?
I think she's probably saying that to you because you're probably shaped like one. Maybe she's
No,
she's
no,
from
no. Listen,
Cedar Rapids. She's
Yeah,
not that
hey,
all the way up there.
no, you're the cheese state. Wisconsin's cheese, not potatoes. What she's got you confused with
I
Idaho.
don't even like potato salad. Get that shit out of here.
I've never had potato salad once in
Yeah,
my
I know why
life.
you don't
How
like it. It has
Shelby
the word,
shame me for liking potato salad?
I know you don't
That's
like
another
potato
reason why
salad. It
I
has the
hate
word
it.
salad in it. Let's be
Well,
real.
Well, that's a real one there. It's an essential one here. But almond parsley,
I know.
almond parsley,
I see what you did there, Tom. I see your little.
essential.
It's a real one. It's an essential one. I get it.
Maybe right. You know what? Before we go, I have to bring because it's a mystery opponent. What do you think about the irony of the essential one? Rob Slater being your mystery opponent. I mean,
You want to know
listen.
some backstory? He was supposed to face me last Summerbash for the IMF hardcore title.
I know he turned back.
And what did he do? Oh, he faked getting poison ivy. He couldn't compete.
But this is why. Listen, maybe he makes up for it and decides
Yeah,
that
this is
now
comeback
he's just
story.
Yes.
Oh my god! I
Don't
thought the
laugh.
Chris Craven one.
I
was
didn't say
bad.
you can laugh.
It was funny, but I don't know if he's showing up. But who knows? Maybe he will.
You know what? Before I go, Joey,
All right.
I know it's right now. I'm letting you have the hour on Sportswire tonight, but everyone else is getting a handout. Everyone else is getting title shots.
Yeah.
I'm making it known right now. Since it's on the house compound, it's going to be house rules. I demand a title shot of any champion at Summerbash. It could be even your RCW champion. It could be the PWF global champion after they win it. I don't care if it's the UCA champion, US champion, even a tag champion. I don't care who it is. JoJo Jackson, if you're here, I'm going after that title too. I don't care.
Good point.
I want a title shot of any champion day one at Summerbash before I defend my title on night 2.
That's an interesting point. That really, ladies and gentlemen, changes the development here because Omen Black on his show says he wants more gold. And you know what? Why not? Because Jason Storm has the potential to have more gold. He could be carrying 2 of the most prestigious championships in our sport. And Omen Black, he wants more. He wants more. And you know what? Could be any champion of his choice. Maybe it is the UCA championship. Maybe it is the IMF Midwestern Championship, JoJo Jackson. Maybe it's Il Drago. Boy, the irony of that. I mean, listen, could be any championship. Could be any championship. We'll have to find out more of it. And Princess JD is calling Omen a potato.
And I'm calling you a
told
dumbass.
you.
I don't know on what grounds. Jovi just isn't as good as Parsley. Sorry, he's the one that called me the greatest princess of Palo of all time.
We get it. You're obsessed with Justin Parsley. Get over it. He's never coming back.
Well, you know, that's a good point. Obviously, she probably listens to the Mariah Carey song Obsessed all the time because she's obsessed with Justin Parsley. In case you didn't notice, it's a Justin Parsley photo with her next to it. So, yeah.
I bet she has a lock of Justin Parsley's hair.
Oh, well, all right. That's enough for my taste. We want to stay on Blabbermouth. You know, you could have said that on the show you referenced a few days ago. You referenced, right, with some other names.
I didn't go on.
No, but you referenced the show a few days ago, right? There was a bunch of these different guys, these misfits, right? You mentioned that I don't even remember who they are that used to come on here, and that would maybe fly on their show that they were on, but I didn't watch it because I'm actually in the real news. You know, I'm in the mainstream media.
I get it, Tom. You know, I get it. You know, I'm a better champion than all those guys in their respective companies.
Oh yeah,
I'm a better champion than Ledger Shade. I'm a better champion than anyone in fucking Wisconsin, especially Craven Michaels, who just won his title back.
Oh, I had known. I didn't realize both those guys were champions still. But hey, listen. You know what? I got other things to worry about. So does the rest of the people here. And She Carries Power by Kanye West. Thank you, Zilla. And also, one more time, it is Summerbash Day. And if you want to follow Sean Jovi, he is on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can check him out there. The IMF is on all those other platforms.
Everywhere.
Yes, they're everywhere. And Ace Christian. Well, we want to say fortunately because we want to support the IMF. We support the IMF here. We support Ace Christian because he is here Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I am very excited about that. Ace has not been here since the last time he announced he was coming to the IMF. This is his first appearance here in the year, and I'm excited about that. We'll talk about a number of other topics with him. So great stuff, everybody.
5 more months. 5 more months.
Well, yeah, 5.5, close enough. And Jada has some of my bloody wrist tape. Well, that was a lot of information that I didn't need to know, but hopefully, whatever. I don't know.
Might want to
God
get a
bless
restraining order
America.
against her.
Happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to everybody here in the IMF and everybody from ROEW and elsewhere that's going to take part in Summerbash this year. Fellas, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the show, recapping it here very soon, and I'm intrigued to hear what Ace Christian has to say Monday night, and looking forward to it. And thank you guys, and happy 4th.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye.
And what did Princess JD, what did Doc say? You have some of his bloody wrist tape. Take it up with him because, well, he is, after all, sending all of his messages in blood, rains in blood, and there's nothing you can do about that.
I
But
might want to get a restraining order against her. I'm just saying.
well, she may want to show up to the shows, though. We'll let management handle that. But thank you, everybody. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. If you're here, hit the sub button for us here on Sportzwire Radio. Hit the sub button for Sean Jovi and the IMF. We'll be here tomorrow with Mr. Hardcore and Timothy Titan. We'll hear what they have to say and more. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportzwire Radio. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the band LA Guns and to their record label Cleopatra Records for giving us the opportunity to be featured in Blabbermouth along with Mr. Phil Willis. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great night. And happy July 4th.